Hello, I am Evernoob, and welcome to episode 46 of my ongoing survival series Hitra. And I want to do something a little different today. As people that have followed me for a while might realize, I tend to get distracted by things pretty easy, and then start and stop, and then I tend to finish things off camera when I can kind of just focus in and work on a project without really having to think about talking. So what I want to do this episode is a little bit of some smaller stuff, but let's go outside and kind of show what I'm trying to talk about in this episode. And what I want to work on today is this building here. This is going to be like the little gas station convenience store, and I have a bunch of stuff over here, but I don't have a design in mind. But as with a lot of these buildings, I usually just kind of start setting blocks until I find the shape and what I'm looking for. So a lot of times I'll lay out how that, well, let me go over here and grab this quick. So first things first, wrong. I'm gonna get in the walls and the flooring, just the most basic bits, and then come back and kind of figure out how I want to texturize everything. Oh wait, I think this is actually, there was a plan here, I remember. I'm really just doing like the most basic of shaping right now, because this is how I build things. I kind of get a rough idea of the color scheme, try to get some blocks that I think will work with it. But yeah, I kind of, in my mind, I kind of have the rough idea of how I want this to go. But it's a matter of getting it, you know, the right looking game. Do I have andesite in here? So yeah, I'm like constantly in a state of organized disorganization where I've got chests and shulker boxes, but I've put away like a big chunk of them. But I tend to do that like all at once rather than keeping some stuff always kind of handy. So, and they're kind of the reason I want to try an episode like this today, for this one, is it's less about getting a building down. It's more of an attempt to kind of really force myself to focus while doing something. Kind of obvious when you watch a lot of my videos. I'm not the most focused of people, or I can be, but I also like can't be. It's more the talking while doing things where I struggle, I think. When I'm actually focusing on something, like in-game, whether it's a build or doing anything else, as long as I don't have to like think about talking, I usually do okay at it. I can really like just zone in to what I'm doing and get into a rhythm, but that tends not to make for good content, which is why I kind of like don't do much for like progress updates while building. I just kind of build, and then I come back once the build is done, because like this process that I'm doing right now is how I tend to build. I just throw down the generals and then come back to it when we get to it. I suppose it is time to start doing some of this. I think I'm just going to make a simple doorway here. In fact, let's make it too wide. There we go. We'll figure out something kind of after that, and then just a little side door right here, I think. Okay, there we go, there we go. Coming together, I think. And, maybe we'll put some windows back here, actually. It's probably a good idea for the back of the garage. Okay, now I need to kind of figure out this flooring and what will be in here. Come on here. Work with me, fingers. There, we'll go with that for now. Probably end up changing. In fact, I think I will just change this corner to start with. Let's go instantly with these. Put that in there. I think I just want to go like this. Actually, maybe we should drop this entire thing down. Now that I think about it, this isn't going to be anything like super special, really. It's more of, I just want to get it done and just focus on one little thing for a whole episode and trying to just make it work, if that makes any sort of sense. More a test of self than trying to really impress or do anything specific. And I will be trimming down this video, obviously. If I'm going for an hour and a half, I still want to get it down to let's say, half hour, 20 minutes or something. I'm not exactly sure what a good time will be. So I'll probably just take out the bits where I'm traveling over, getting new supplies, because there's a bunch of stuff I'm already thinking about. If this is like a convenience store, like all my barrels are still over there. So what I'm thinking is you come in, this will be kind of like the area for goods. Right back here there'll be a little register slash counter area. I'll probably need some different wood for that. I really am not making enough of these slabs at a given time, am I? Okay, there we go. And then I think in here, for the garage, I think I want to do... I'm not sure exactly what the floor should be in this garage area. I just kind of want it to feel kind of cold and empty, so I'm not exactly... Actually, you know what might be a good... I'm just going to do the usual checkerboard pattern. I don't know, this really works for me for flooring. Which is funny because I can't even think of a place anywhere near me that has it. It's a nice go-to in Minecraft, I think, for simple variation you don't have to think about too much. Ooh, you know what might be... I just actually thought this, I think, will be a much better floor pattern. The smithing tables. Which means I'm going to have to make a lot, but that's okay. I've got tons of iron on me. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot more. Okay. I'm liking this look a lot more. So I just want to finish getting those in before I continue forward with anything. Okay, what was I going to grab here? These guys. I think if we make some of these slabs, it might help if I put them in the right machine. Let's start with 16 and see where that gets us. But I think this is going to be like a nice industrial looking floor. Yeah, I'm like, oh, but I'm liking that better already. And this is how I build, just slowly trial and erroring my way through whatever it is I'm doing. I wouldn't say it's the best way, but it's kind of the only way I know how to do it. Like pre-planning and creative, every time I've tried that, I only do that really for color scheme. I have done some like shapes and ideas before. I'm not good at remembering or like wanting to write down the, you know, like block by block idea. So I'll just kind of get some general ideas and shapes, and then I need one more, and then go from there with how I build. But oops, not that. This. There we go. Okay, that is flooring all done. We'll come back and I think we'll get to some texturing after. But let's see. Now we need to kind of work on the ceiling bit. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this yet. If I'm thinking about it, I think what I want to do is off of here I want to go like 2 blocks out. Let's end it just 1 block from the doorway. I think that's a good spot. Again, this right here is just general shaping. A lot of this, because I kind of have an idea. I might go get some quartz. I think quartz will look really good with this lime green terracotta in this build. So all I'm trying to do right now is get like a super generalized shape. So where are we at here? We're at that block. Let's go over right there. And I realize none of this is really going to make sense right now until you see the full picture. And who knows, maybe I don't even like the full picture. But in my head right now, there is like a image that's coming together. So now I'm just trying to get the basics for that thing to come to fruition down, essentially. There we go, now it's coming together. Right, so now I have a series of boxes. Well, that's just wonderful. Scaffolding might be a smart idea to grab as well, because I'm kind of doing this on the fly. And let's just go up here so I can... Oh, I thought I was going to fall. So what I'm thinking, how am I going to make that work? Because in my head I wanted to have like a slab on top and bottom, but that won't make sense. Unless, yes it will if we go 4 up. So I'm going to have to increase this yet again. So actually what I want to do, I think, is go grab quartz right away to see this idea kind of come to life while it's on my brains. Okay, so what I want to do, and this whole thing will be 2 rows where if I actually jump into this groove, And we just go like this. And then I also want to do the same here. So we have like a 1 block gap, but it's offset, so we can have this slab kind of accent piece around the whole thing. And a lot of, like, with my building, I don't really worry about the end product, mainly because the way I used to build, that used to be kind of one of my primary concerns. But I found, as I've built, it's usually like, until you like get like a good portion of things down, like the build just doesn't look right no matter what you're doing. So it's like you actually just have to, or maybe it's just the way I see things. Like, I'm not a like see the forest through the trees when I'm doing a build type thing. Or maybe that's not the right saying, but I just have to kind of do it, and then once I get to the end, that's where it really starts coming together. But I've done it enough now where I kind of just, as I'm going, I know right now it's not going to look or make like much sense, and there is a risk factor where it still won't come together in ends. It'll just look a bit weird. But usually, once you get to that point in the build, sort of the end of it, that's usually where you kind of know what isn't. And then it's just like little tweaks. Whereas like starting out, but if I have like an idea in my head and can kind of envision where it's going, I can usually get there just by trial and erroring it. And granted, sometimes the error rate, it can take a while to overcome, but usually I can kind of just like trust my gut with these things. And that's a learned thing. I used to, or it's always how I've kind of been, but I've also been, even most recently, with like the library I built a few episodes ago. That was a full build and a half, let's say, of setting up and tearing down because I just didn't like what I was doing. And so it is not the most efficient way of doing things by any means, but for the most part, I don't have to worry too much about these things. Like, I generally know kind of what I'm going for. As long as I'm in the mindset where, like, this may not come out exactly right, I will be fine with, even if I have to go through and, like, redo a huge old thing. Like, I know what I'm doing with it now, and even though it may not be the best method, I know how it works for me anyway. So, yeah, I think that's looking alright. So now, if we're looking at this thing, so we're going to need, I think we're going to want to get rid of that and put these in on these corners as well. So that's that whole section done. Now I don't really want to worry about the top too much for right now. I'll probably come back and fill that in. So let's get the roofs on this thing. I like smooth stone. It's kind of like standard roofs for like more modern type builds. I don't think they have to be too fancy. Also with the half slab smooth, the half slab, wow, my words failed me there hard. The half like slab smooth stone stuff for a roof, I always kind of prefer it because it seems like an easy mob prevention mode, even if you don't want to put lights in it. I tend to put lights in of some kind just for the look, but okay, bada bing, bada bing, I still have these. I am fool. Okay, that's sort of coming together. Let's just put something down for now, so I don't have to worry about mobs. And then let's bring this right across, and we can kind of stagger that after, I think. Some stairs. In fact, let's just make them now and put those in so I don't have to worry about it later. So we'll go boom, 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 boom. There, that makes it look like a more solid kind of structure of some kind. I think the thing I actually enjoy about building is a lot of it is just this. The repetition of thought. So you can kind of, it's almost meditative in that sense, where you're not really thinking on anything particular with the build until you get to like the next, I don't know what you would call it, like save point in the build, where you kind of have to focus. But while you're just throwing blocks up, you get like a brief kind of rest from thinking about or worrying about things. You just get to sit and kind of ponder whatever it is you're kind of working on. Okay, so now We're still not there, but it's getting closer. And so here's where we're going to have like our gas pumps and some such. I always try to, just like a puzzle, I try to do the borders first. I don't know how some people, like guys like Etho, who build from like the inside out. It makes sense, I guess, when you're more technically minded. You want to make sure you have enough space. But for the most part, I am pretty much always like, get the whole basic kind of shell done with first, and then go back and see what it need. So yeah, now we're starting to get close to like where the interiors and stuff I think are going to be more important, and I think I might even want to close this off, something like that, and then maybe even on top. Won't look exactly the same, but I think it works in its own weird way. Okay, so now we gotta start thinking about interiors, but like I said, I do need to go grab some more stuff, like barrels and whatnot, so I'm gonna go... Now, gotta keep up with the experiment. We do not cut for any reason. Let's see, so what do I need? I need barrels, I've got plenty of iron. There are some things, I'll probably have to get them as I think of them, more so than anything else, but the barrels are mainly for like... I don't know what I'm exactly going to put in this gas station, but I kind of want it to look like a shop. You know what? Let's just grab this whole thing. What else we got around here? Grab just anything kind of industrial looking. I don't have much for barrels, do I? Paintings, we're going to want those. We're going to want a clock. I don't need the leads right now. Okay, I think this is a good start for a bunch of stuff. And then, yeah, how this is going to connect to like the rest of the city, I don't even think about that till way later, once I kind of have the whole building down how I want it. Oh, I did want to grab, I am fool, I did actually want to grab that wood, because I was going to make a counter out of things. Why am I just wasting rockets like that? I'm so impatient, I'm just like, go, 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 I want to get there now. The kind of nice thing about building the way I do is, like, even though it's a disorganized mess often, it kind of forces me to use different blocks. Like, I will oftentimes just use what is convenient and right next to me and available over, you know, getting something super specific that I want or whatnot. So, okay, and this corner is going to be like our little shop owner areas. Boom, boom. And then this, we want to open that way so he can come back here. Right. Now I think about it, this should probably be a stair as well, just to show it's like sort of structurally sound. And I can move this bed finally. And we'll have to figure out what our little shop owner would need back there, but I think that works. One thing he's gonna have to know the time. Come on, there we go. And now we just kind of have to think of the layout for the interior here. Okay, bit of a jump cut. I went and grabbed and checked something on my phone and then set it too close to my computer, and I didn't notice it for a bit, but eventually I was hearing what is it, like feedback or like a interference sound in my headphones coming back because I was recording. So I went back and looked, and it was like the last, I don't know, 15 minutes or so had that going on constantly. So had to delete that, but all I've really done is added in the flooring. I made this cooler here. It's supposed to be a cooler. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here. Did some of the interior work. I might change some of this. I don't really know yet, because I don't have a plan for what's going to go in here. And then, yeah, just added stone around this outside. So, wasn't a huge loss, I don't think. I don't remember exactly where I left off. I still got to get up on top of that and whatnot. But, yeah, a bit of a bummer there, but it is okay, I think. So, one thing I want to do... Boom, 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 boom. Hang on, give me a second. Somewhere, I think I have a load... Do I have a lodestone on me? And now that kind of looks like a big old tractor tire. I think. Then we should have something holding it up too. What do I have in here for stuff? Maybe that'll be a finishing touches thing. Because the one thing I do want to do I have armor stands over here in one of these somethings? There's one there. Do I have more? No, okay. How does I make armor stand again? My brain is so frazzled right now. I'm trying to do some weird exterior stuff and I'm forgetting. And you know what? That tractor tire would go much better here. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Because right over here, I want like a series of like tire things. Because this is more the repair side of things. So that actually makes more sense. So there, and then right here what I want to do is do some armor stand magic. So where are things? What do I need? I have sticks. Right, okay. Just make a ton of armor stands. Because there's a cool little trick with armor stands. And I'm just going to use the book, I think. It's actually a trick from one of my previous videos, but I kind of forgot about it till I decided to make this. I know I'm kind of like just sputtering about right now, but you'll see it when it comes together. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. Let's see, what do I need? I need gray and black dye, and I need to go right down here and grab leather. So what I want to do is I'm trying to make tires here, but I'm just so terribly not figuring out what I need to do. So first things first, we'll just need to do this one at a time. I think this should be actually pretty simple. Because all I really want to do is showcase this little trick for making tires. You can do this with pistons and stuff, at least to some extent. I'm just using the statues book because I can lock everything in place. Let's see. There we go. That's looking right. Let's lock that in place. And there, now that kind of looks like a tire, right? And what I do is can actually stack that up 2 or 3 high, which gives it a really, really cool look. But I think for now, I'll do that off camera. I'm just going to lock that in place, and I'm going to put these in here. Because, yeah, you need 4 of each to get that kind of circular tire look. But I think what I'm going to focus on is something else. Gosh, I cannot concentrate on anything now. After that little skip, it took me a while to exactly pinpoint kind of down where my audio problems were happening, so right, okay, let's go like that. I think I'll maybe save all the interior work for these for off camera, because that's something I tend to dawdle and do a lot of like random stuff, like setting down, redoing, and I'm gonna need to figure out what I want to put in here is the idea I had for this cooler was I was gonna put like XP bottles. I'm trying to think of like on-the-go stuff that I don't have elsewhere around. Kind of like basic stuff, but I can't really think of anything at the moment. I was kind of focused on the interior. That stopping for that audio glitch kind of really threw me off. I guess the goal is still going to be achieved. I did want to build it all in one take, but I think taking the time to sort it out and figure out what was wrong is kind of throwing me for a loop. But I think what I'm going to do is actually just finish this thing off camera, and I'll come back and explain it once I've landed on something. Because, like I said, I don't really have don't have too much of a plan for this, and interiors are kind of trial and error the way I build them anyway. So yeah, not quite the one take, but I think once I come back, we'll have a much better idea of, or I'll have something kind of completely done here. So I will be back in just a bit and get all this sorted. I have finished the convenience store gas station, and it's a good thing I kind of went back after my little hiccup, because I got a little obsessed with the armor stand stuff and wasted a bunch more time. But yeah, maybe I should actually look at the building. So it am all done. As you can see, we got these sort of gas station-y pumps that do nothing. Got a stack of tires here next to a big tractor tire. Just kind of stuff all around to draw interest. Oh, I forgot. Right. I have to make some more iron trap doors and put them along here. Did I get the other side? Now that I think about it, I did not. Maybe we'll leave it for now. But yeah, just kind of decorations all around to kind of draw the eye. I replaced that green background with just the glazed terracotta green, just to give it a little bit of something. But if we come in here, we've got some tools hanging up. And I put my only other heavy core. I have one that is a mace over there. The only other one I put right here. So that might be a big waste, or I'll have to go get more trial chambers. But I also, like I said, I got obsessed with the armor stands, and I started doing stuff like these little guys. Chests on top of here, and a little anvil. Made a little, supposed to be like a skull and crossbones thing, but not sure how well it came out. Back behind here, this is like supposed to be the little clerk till. This hopper just goes into here. So I put an emerald in there so I'd remember that. And this is supposed to be like a little security scrambled footage cam. And then in here, just some basic supplies, compasses. This is like navigation stuff. Here we've got some foods, which I haven't put anything in yet. I still don't have a reason for this chest, but it exists. And then I've got bottles of enchanting. None of these are full. All these barrels and stuff are empty. I was just grabbing things from my house, basically, to put in here. But yeah, I just thought kind of some basic foods, food supplies, and then some navigational stuff, and XP, and then honey for saturation. And that kind of completes the interior of this build. You know what? That's just sort of a banner I made for the gas station in general. I think I have it just kind of posted around. Just a kind of a random design. But yeah, that is the gas station all built. Let's get a better view. There we go. That's kind of decent look at it. But that is that project all done. Now I need to finish terraforming this and figure out how I'm actually going to build a road out of here, because this is really kind of tucked away right now. Can probably do a little bit of a trail up and through here, I imagine. Yeah, I think this will work. Surely it must. But that be that. Now there was one other thing. I recently, how do I look at achievements? Is that advancements? There we go. I recently got the advancement, kill one of everything, and I don't remember what it was. What would that be under? Nether? No. Adventure, maybe? Wait, what is that? Be near a crafter when it crafts a crafter. Aha. So some of these I can do. I'm looking for the advancement I just got. I might have to do some advancement hunting here shortly. Maybe it's in here. I know recently I just did get the... Aha! Kill one of every hostile monster. So I don't know what it was that I actually did that to, but I did recently just get that. It was actually after I finished last episode. Now I'm trying to remember. I just have no idea what it actually was. I really should have wrote this down as a more of a smart. Right, that's enough looking at things. The goal of this episode was just to get that gas station done, and now that it is, I think I'm just going to end the episode and see how it comes out in the edit. So, and I shall end it as I always do. You know what? I've been doing it here, but since we just finished this, I think it is a good time. In fact, I should make a new boat just for the occasion to celebrate. Here we go. This is how I'm used to looking at it. Right, so I've been Evernoop. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you want. Tell friends. All the YouTube stuff that I'm supposed to say or promote or something. Do all that if you want to. But, yeah, it's kind of an experimental episode on this one. I wanted to, I'm trying to get the cast right. Wanted to try and focus and just get one thing done, and I think I kind of accomplished it. Maybe I'll throw these in. This is also kind of an experiment, just kind of like in between stuff. The last one I had 4 new pens in the zoo, and it was a long bit of editing and resource gathering. Ooh, pufferfish. So yeah, I wanted to get back to something simpler, as it were. But that's all I've got for today. Like I said, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.